Let's make some small red beans, been soaked overnight, these really small red beans. Good healthy food, healthy, those red beans. And they pick up the flavor of anything that's put in there, and they don't fight with the flavor. They work together. That's why the red beans are so popular. I'm using shallots and garlic. You can use onions. I'm putting some, like I looked around the refrigerator for anything left over, and look what I found, pepperoni. That'll give it a nice flavor. A little green pepper. Also got some rosemary and thyme. And I found a low sodium broth, which is only 6%. And you look at the other boxes, they go up to like 36%. So watch out. You don't have to. Let us put the amount of salt we want in it, not somebody's company. What else? And we're going to season this up, since red beans are a really Cajun delight. Oh, they're Mexican and Puerto Rican and whatever, South America. But I like cooking with Paul Prudhomme's Cajun magic. Even though it's not the original one that he made when he was in Commander's Palace, because I used to frequent that place and I know him, but it's still a good one. So we're going to get started. It's very simple, and I'm working on a new camera, so it may be a little time consuming. So as we resume, I just chopped everything up. There goes the pepperoni. Notice there's no oil in there. You know why? You think there's a lot of fat in this pepperoni? Slightly. So what we're going to do is, on a moderate flame, look at that. Look how much grease is coming out of there already. Did they say moderate flame? That looks a little high. Okay, a nice low flame, like so. You got enough grease in there right now to saute everything else? I think so. Now we add what I had cut up, and not finely chopped either. It's going to be in there for at least an hour and a half, if not more. And I like to see the vegetables this time. Sometimes I don't like to see them. I like them finely minced. But this time, and it's much easier to cut them up this way. And being so lazy as I am, you think I have the time to peel off these little pieces of rosemary? And by the way, never use dry rosemary or dry oregano, tarragon. They're worthless, they're tasteless, and now later, all you have to do is just pick out the stem. And especially with this, the thyme, I'm really lazy with this. That's like one package at a time. You'll see later, the stems will be in there and the leaves will be gone. So we'll either sweat this up clear or give it some color. Raise the flame a little now. And throw a few bay leaves in there too. I don't have any. Don't ask me why. I just can't find them. Still dealing with Sandy, and the kitchen isn't 100% in yet. So in about another month or so, I should be good to go with my measuring, with my scale, and everything else. Nice. Those are all tasty items in there. Now, let's say you're a vegan. All right. Well, don't use the chicken broth that I'm going to use, and don't put in the pepperoni, but I'm looking for a little, that flavor that it's going to impart in there. And I can't always cook a vegetarian style, even though I love it. But the beans in here are extremely healthy for you. Do a little research and you'll find how good they are. So, and I'm going to make this with not the video, but I think I have a video of brown rice. Or what? It doesn't matter. Regular rice, brown rice, they're all cooked the same. But use brown rice instead of white rice, and you got a nice healthy meal. So now we're going to put a little seasoning in there, and we're going to throw in this Cajun stuff, a nice tablespoon. And after we saute and we put in the beans that I didn't pick through the beans, I'm going to get punished someday. And I'll find a rock in there and break a tooth. And that's what my punishment will be for not picking through the beans. Because why? How many pounds of beans have I cooked in my life? I don't know, a few hundred? And I think I saw a little pebble in 1 pound once of the larger red beans. And I wasn't even looking for it, just stood right there looking at me. Was that luck? So we have nice, and this looks good already. Okay. It's not that I'm in a rush, but I don't care about having much color. Sweating it up, pulling the flavor out is fine. These little baby red beans that were soaked overnight. And we're going to throw, I'm just going to use 1 cup of this chicken broth. And then the rest is going to be water. And after I put the water in there, it's going to high flame and then simmer. To run all the way to the bathroom for the water because the sink's not in yet. And we're just going to cover it. And if you keep the lid on, it'll keep the moisture in and won't reduce as much. But if you're the type of person that likes to walk by every 5 minutes and see it cooking without lifting the lid, don't put a lid on it. So now you see the beans are just covered. So that's it. We're going to raise the flame. And as far as any more seasoning later on, salt, pepper, more Cajun at the very end. So this was like everything in one pot, which everybody loves to do. So we're not going to waste film on this. When this comes to a boil, put it on a simmer. Put the lid on there, and I'm going to come back in about an hour to check it, just to see how the liquid level is. And that's it. Can't be any simpler than that. All the ingredients, the amounts will be on the recipe, and I hope you have fun with it. So let me just pause this now and go about doing something else. Well, just let me add to this. As I stepped away from the stove, about 15 feet away, I picked up the aroma of this. And I'm always honest when it comes to the cooking, and I'm telling you, this one is going to be really tasty because it smells good from like 20 feet away. Let's see, I'm not waiting an hour, just had that feeling about it. So there you go, that's a half hour. So we will, and I had the flame just to drop too high. So we'll just add a little more water, just to cover the beans. There you go. Okay, so now 1 hour has passed. We know it's not done. We're just here to check the level of the liquid. And notice, look at the stems. You could just take them out now if you wanted to. How simple is that? I don't know, to me it's a little bit easier than peeling off every little piece. Anyway, the level's good. So we'll keep going like this. That's an hour. We'll go for another half hour and check it again. So we have an hour and a half so far. Now I'm going to check the beans just to see how tender they are. Getting there. Take a few more stems out. Give it another half hour. And I'm not going to add any more liquid. Be back in a half hour. Then we're going to season it because it does need seasoning. So we have an hour and a half. Hasn't reduced much, not like the first hour. That's because I lowered the flame down to a real low, simmer. And I'm guessing that they're not done yet. Half hour more, that's it. Now, this is better tomorrow to eat it than today. It'll be creamier tomorrow, or even 2 days later. That's just what happens with beans, unless you mash them up a little yourself now and then serve them. Well, I found something rather disturbing. That chicken broth, low in sodium, well, I'm sorry, it tasted like plain water. So to help this thing out a little, because I wanted some chicken flavor in there, I'm throwing in a chicken leg. And that's it. I'm not going to buy any more canned container chicken items. Buy the backs and necks of chicken, if you can find them, and make your own chicken broth. Tastes a hell of a lot better and healthier, and that's all I can say about that. Very disappointed. I think I will even write them a little letter too, that company. Anyway, I'll get my chicken flavor in here from that one chicken leg. Well, I come back here every half hour. Not done yet. Another half hour. It's very low simmering. I don't even know why I soaked the beans overnight. I have taken dry beans, put them in the pot, cooked them, be ready in 2.5 hours. Let's see how it is now. This is 5 minutes before the last half hour, and those beans are ready. So it looks kind of watery. There's some more stem, and you want them creamy. So you either wait until tomorrow, just leave it like this, cool it off, put it away, and tomorrow they'll be creamy, or you crush some of them. Use a whip or use something like this. And then we're going to season them up some more. There's a little addition to my bean plate, a chicken leg. Get those stems out of there. That wasn't so difficult. See, it's gotten creamier already. So now I'm going to season it up a little bit more. Give a taste just to the liquid. Not spicy enough for me, so I'll throw another tablespoon of this Cajun mix. As far as salt goes, it's to your taste. If you don't want salt, don't put any. That mix has a little salt in it. And for me, I like to stay away from salt. There's so many natural flavors in here. It's going to be good. Creamy. Crush them up some more. And then you have what I really don't taste is the pepperoni, so in the recipe I doubled the amount. And And we are getting nice and creamy. Well, you can finish this off with, if you like, cilantro, scallions, just plain chopped parsley, and there we go. A nice consistency. Didn't have to reduce this. The water stock level was good. Now, if you put this away for tomorrow just like this, it'll be much thicker and nice. Not that it isn't right now. So there you go, that's it. Let me taste that. And now it's got a little bite to it. If you like putting hot sauce in there, go right ahead on top of that. So that's little baby red beans, nice and healthy. And remember, make your own chicken stock. Don't buy that crap anymore, because I'm certainly not. Enjoy.